Since it's the summer, Nigerian summer,
Yeah.
holiday period, really rise. It's the Nigerian summer holidays, and the kids are home. So we're going to be brainstorming and talking about what we can actually use to engage the kids during the holiday period. Before we do that, we'll go straight to this, and we'll be right back here on Conversations.
I've been spending my holiday I used to go to Bible schools, doing different things at home, helping my mother to cook, doing house chores, and I go out, take ice cream, play, and go and visit my friends.
I'm spending my holiday helping my parents, reading my books, watching TV, and going out for shopping.
It's great, but this time it wasn't that fun because I didn't travel, and also I'm going to a summer school.
I engage them in so many ways. Sometimes if I'm not at home, maybe I have something doing in the town, I ask them to do the house chores, then I give them assignments. Yeah. Then I also ask them to play in the house. I buy a lot of toys for them.
They are on holiday, so we decided to come to the park, have some good time, fun, and then share some meal together.
I spend my holiday by reading, watching TV, playing games, reading, sleeping, and eating, and helping my mom in the kitchen.
By going to summer lessons, playing with my cousins, and helping my mother.
Spend my holiday by reading, by helping my mom to wash plates, by sweeping the house, by clearing the compound, by
Family. All right, make that conscious effort to bring the family together and have that bonding time. All right, with that, you know what your children are up to. With that, your children will be more endeared to you. So I think it's best as parents, an environment like this is always good for them. Not always indoors playing games and things like that, but an environment where they can also relate with other people as well. Socialize with other people. That's why I bring them here.
I'm spending my holiday by going to my coding classes and sitting at home enjoying myself. When I'm bored, I read my school books and I read storybooks.
Children and the holidays. That's our topic today in the conversation room. So let's start with Vivian, because I know you have a couple of stories to tell. How do you occupy your kids during the holidays?
During holiday. Holiday is a special time for children and parents too. It's also a hectic time because the children are at home. I actually got 3 boys.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah. So during holidays like this, but it's also a time for us to bond with our children. A lot of parents go send their children out for maybe summer this, summer that, summer lessons. But for me, I think it's a period that you should go out on vacation with your children or engage them in some activities at home. Even if they're going to go for the summer school or summer lesson, they should have time too to stay with you, for both of you, for you people to bond together, to know what exactly they are going through.
Okay.
Because it's also a time when children are also abused, because they stay at home more than when you maybe they go to school and come back. So it's also this time that parents are supposed to be aware, to be alert on what is going on in their children's life.
I'm glad you mentioned children being at home and there's no watchful eye, especially when there's no family member to really watch over them, or parent. Let me be more specific. I have 4-year-old twins, and people are wondering, why'd you put them in summer school? It's because I don't want them home for extended periods of time, you know, with helpers that may have good intentions or may not. You know, I just don't want to be sitting in the office and wondering, a lot of what ifs. I'd rather have them in the school environment, summer school environment. Yes, and I know that they're fine.
But no place is safe, actually. Even in school, they could be abused.
I feel like, you know, this whole summer camp thing, I feel because kids are growing and their minds are constantly active, if you leave them dull for a long period of time, they will lose what they've learned during the school year. Okay. So I feel even if you're going to go away on a vacation, before you get that time to go away, or when you come back and there's still time before school opens, enroll them into a summer camp that also does educational stuff and has recreational stuff as well. If it's, you know, sending them to your gym that has a football field and a basketball court, then in the evening they can go to, but they also need that time to spend with you, because all during the school year it is, they go to bed by 7, they're up by this time, they go to school, you're at work, by the time they come home they eat dinner, it's time to do homework. There's no, you know, it's a circle, and you're not in that circle. Your own is to just come, baby, you're sleeping, oh, good night, see you tomorrow, mommy loves you, you're done. But this is a long 2.5 month break. In that break, you need to find that bonding time with your child to where you understand, okay, this is what's going on in their lives, this is what you need to correct, this is what you need to make better, this is what, okay, he's growing into liking fashion. Okay, so maybe you should put him into a sketching school. Or she's growing a habit of liking basketball. Oh, let's get her a basketball court. Or she likes squash, or whatever the case is. You pique their interest and you put them, you encourage them to be in that, because that takes their mind away from dullness. It helps them to be more sharp, be more in tune with life, be able to you know, affiliate with people and interact with people better. So it's not all about going to Disney World or going to the village or sitting at home playing video game. No, because people say, oh, I like to name big places, so I'm coming down.
Exactly, like your parents would just get a PlayStation for the kids and they're home.
And that's it, you're playing
and because you don't want them to disturb you, you don't want them to be all over the place.
With that uneducated nanny, that she's there, proper English she doesn't speak, she's just speaking broken to your kids, then all of a sudden your kids pick up that bad accent, that pidgin, and they no longer speak proper English, they can't communicate the right way. No, you need to put measures in place during the holiday season.
Okay, so do you think parents should plan their leaves around the same time children are?
Of course.
Especially fathers.
Especially
fathers. Most parents are saving that up for, you know, Salah and for Christmas.
But we have 30 days.
No.
We have a whole month. You can actually
even if you don't have a whole month, they give you 2 weeks. Salah, we know that when Salah comes, the government will give a break.
2 days.
If it falls, it is 2 days. If it's on the weekend, you now get 4 days. So, until there's no reason to take
and
off for yourself.
You can always divide your vacation period into 2 or into whatever number you have. You need to bond with your kids. That's the time for you to bond with your kids, to even know their personality, their differences. Their weaknesses. That's when you actually have an impact on your, you know, some parents make a mistake of, not really a mistake, they take them to the grandparents, and because I have a very busy schedule, I won't have time to take care of them, I don't want to leave them with the nanny. I think this, sometimes you feel the children get withdrawn from the parents because there's no attachment, there's no love. They rather say, I want to go to grandma, I want to go to grandpa. You are their parents. God knows. Nobody knows who's going first. The grandma can go first, you can go first. When the grandma is not there, who do they go to?
If it's also grandma, there are kids that are more attached to their nannies. Then I saw this this thing on Instagram, this drawing on Instagram where the kid was coming home from where, was it a draw? No, it was like a video. The kid was coming home from school. By the mom. The mother was there, like
at the door.
Then the nanny was behind. The kid ran right past the mother.
And hugged the nanny. Yes.
No way.
Like,
Like,
and the mother
yes.
was devastated.
Wow,
Like,
that's really sad.
yeah.
Like,
Because that's the
imagine.
person that will give them food.
That's the
You know,
person that's
children.
there with them. That's the
Yeah,
person
children,
that
they like
attends-
food.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
that
even just
person
food.
that
Yeah,
gives
That's
them
the person that
Time with
spends so
them.
much time with them. That's
Yeah.
the person that,
That
they look at
listens
like,
to them.
your mommy, we know your mommy, but
You're
this is the
very-
person that I'm attached to.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the person that takes
That will
care
act-
of me,
yes.
nurses me. If I have a problem, this is the person I say,
will take care of
something
my
is,
needs.
I have
Yeah.
an issue
Something
here.
bites me when I'm crying.
Yeah.
Mommy
Exactly.
is calling, hey, Susan, come and carry. Come
yeah,
on now.
Yeah. And you know, the holiday period is also a great opportunity to talk to your children, especially if they're at that age, teenage years. I have
Yeah.
a story about a friend who told me this last week that his son is home from school. And as they were talking, he realized that he is in a real bad situation in school. You know, boarding house and all the horrible stories that you hear from it. You know, I'm sorry, but I'm not pro boarding house. I know some fantastic people have come out of it, but I'm just not.
I went to
and
boarding.
just you did
Same
For
here.
a few months, but still.
you know. So he said the boy told him that he's in JSS1 and that the seniors, you know,
Abuse them.
no, abuse them. They take drugs, and in that high, they beat the JS1
younger
students,
ones.
beat them. You know, and I mean this. They're not even using their own strength anymore because it's an
Yeah.
induced. They beat them so bad, and you know, no one is doing anything or talking about it, and the administration is aware. So my friend has now decided, and they struggled so hard to get him into this school, to get the boy into the school. He's had to take the decision to pull him out and move him into
that's
another
the
school.
Safety first.
And you know, it's some of those stories that you might miss if you don't talk to your child,
Exactly.
especially during this period where they're home with you. Yeah.
True. True.
You know, there's some questions you ask your kids, you know, not just, oh, how was school? Did they give you home? No, how do you feel about your classes? How do you feel about your teachers? You know, do you feel like you relate to your teachers? Do they make you better? How do you relate to your other friends? Who are your favorite, you know, classmates besides your best friend in school? Who empowers you in your class? Who makes you feel like you're smart? Who brings you? You sit down and engage them in different conversations, and you hear their responses. You know, when that child pulls back and they're like, when you ask them about a certain thing, you know there's a problem.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Then you find your way of getting it out of them. You don't just look at it and just okay, let's move on to the next topic. Oh, you pick up your phone and you're now doing whatever. And no, like this is the time. 2.5 months is a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
It's a long time. Even like going on holiday, I feel there are people that have made their kids feel like they're entitled to go on
Exactly.
holiday.
Exactly.
It is their birthright.
Exactly.
I grew up where my father was the lenient one, my mother was the iron fist, and my mother made me feel like going to the US, going to London, you have to earn it. Oh, this year you're not going because I didn't like what your report card said. Everybody can go to where they want to go. You will be home. And I'm like,
And that really happened?
yeah. My mother, hey, it over happens. Or there was one time I was in the US and I don't know what I did, and we're going to Six Flags. My mother made me go to that Six Flag. So imagine you get to the enjoyment and then they tell you that you cannot enjoy it. I entered the car, drove all the way to the Six Flag. Time to ride the ride. My mother said, come back here, madam. Remember you did so and so. You're under punishment. Is this where the punishment is starting?
And you would not want to do it again.
Hey,
Yeah.
I cried.
You've been
My
punished
mother
for
said,
it.
next time,
True.
and trust me, next time I
But
didn't
a lot
do
of parents aren't using this carrot and stick approach, you know, where you're trying to get the kid to do the right thing. Well, it's travel. Like you said, some people see it as a birthright, so they have to.
Yeah,
the child
exactly.
must travel, whether
The
they've
child
done-
will tell you that I have to travel.
My friend, let me tell you,
They
my
don't
friend's
even know your
kids.
financial capability
At
at
all.
that moment.
I was talking to one of my friends, and I was like, yo, what's going on for the summer? Da, 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 da. And he was like, oh, my kids say they want to go to Spain, and they want to, there was like 3 places that he listed. Oh, my kids want to go to Spain, and from Spain they're going to this place, and then in December, because they don't live in Nigeria.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, and they want to come to Nigeria in December. I said, so you're going to these 3? He said, what can I do? Now, that's what they want. I said, what do you mean? I said, excuse me, call your wife. I need to talk to her. I don't understand how much do they earn?
Let's start with that, yeah.
How much do they earn? What is their salary? Who's paying for... You pay for plane tickets wherever they're going to. You pay for hotel wherever they're going to.
And these
you pay for
kids are not going to stay with you forever. Yeah. What if they move into a house, get married, and then the person is not able to afford? We create our own problems. It starts from a very early age.
Yes,
the truth is that traveling too is educative. Yes. It's exposure.
It's a luxury. It's a luxury.
It's a luxury.
People that have never left Nigeria because they are still exposed.
Exactly.
Yes. I know.
Internet is working.
Yeah, it's working.
And if you want exposure, start googling your own local area. Take them to many states in Nigeria.
It's also the money. You also spend the money, isn't it?
There are places to go here. You don't have to make it a priority to travel outside.
Yankari.
It mustn't be
What happened to going to
Yankari?
Yankari?
Traveling. I didn't say
Kogosi.
outside. Traveling is educating.
Yes, I
when
agree.
you travel a lot, you are exposed. You learn a lot of things.
Have you
But I think for most of our kids, when they travel,
they can learn about
and enjoy
when I know that the security there is maybe not conducive.
You can hire security. Let me help you.
Why should I hire security?
Because
when
your kids need to learn about their own country.
Around
invest in your country.
What if they get married and they won't be able to afford the UK? How
that is why we're also teaching them to work very hard. Like my son, I would tell him.
You can work hard does not mean the visa will come.
I have seen people that have worked hard in their lives.
And they couldn't.
Exactly. It's all about, I don't know. It's
bricklayer, I know they work hard.
Exactly. So it's not about working hard. You just have to.
Everybody mustn't travel to talk about UK or US or whatever.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
You can also travel to, depending on where you want to travel.
Like I've gotten to
just like there are parents that can sell off their property just to take their kids.
No, why are you sending your kid to
It's
this particular school and not this one?
No, see, school is different.
School choices are different.
Don't holiday with vacation. Education does not have. You can't put a value to education. What type of education your child gets is the best. You know,
the best you can even give.
Give them the best because you don't know the doors that will open based on that education. But tell me, see, let me use myself as an example.
Okay.
Born, raised, and educated in the U.S.
Okay.
I have traveled the 7 continents of the world.
Good.
I have gone to different cities, How has that helped my life?
Okay, maybe that is you.
Because we have uncle, we're there for Plateau State. Whenever I leave Plateau, enter Abuja self, his bank account is heavier than my own.
No, that depends on what you want. What are you looking at when you're traveling?
My only problem with what you're saying is making the kids understand.
Yes.
We can only travel when it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not that the child
when you know it's comfortable,
No,
make them understand they have to earn it.
You have to earn these things.
You have to
if
earn
you don't have this money, like I just said, Badagry has history. Badagry has history.
So many places
to Lagos
to go to.
And you go to that slave path where the slave walks. They learn the history of their country.
Okay, let me tell you an example.
They have Ikokosi. You go to Bauchi, they have Yankari.
And you know what I don't like about the vacation thing? It becomes like a competition.
She has an example she wants to share. Let's let it
becomes like a competition.
Go ahead, Vivian.
Competition because you also may be showing on social media or all that.
Not social media because Mr.
I
A
travel
is taking
a lot,
his kids
but
to abroad.
you will never see it on social. I don't even tell
Are
people.
your kids on social media?
No.
What competition do they have? Who are they trying to show off to?
But there are parents that do this to brag.
Exactly.
Bragging
that's what
rights.
I'm saying.
Maybe for some people.
I'm your friend.
How many times
you're taking your
kids
kids
to the same
Of course, I'm taking
Yeah.
my kids abroad because you can afford. I can't afford. I can
For me, I think
my
it's
husband
just
to
educating
sell off
my
the property,
children.
sell the car, just to equalize with you. They do that.
Yes, people do
Look
that.
at my 5 fingers. Look at my 5 fingers.
They're
Which
not
one
equal.
is equal?
None.
No.
The person living to my right is different from the person living to my right. To my left.
But it's
we
the
are all
mentality.
different.
It's
Our
the
bank account is
mentality.
reading different things.
Your bank account.
Is it our bank account that person
Boils down to the money.
Is it our bank account?
Okay,
Why would I want to
for
sell
me,
my...
the truth is that when you travel alone, I'm not saying that people must travel. No. This year, my children didn't travel. We didn't travel.
Okay.
In fact, I even have to rest. Like, for me, moving around airport and all that is too much.
It's a
for me.
hassle.
Yeah, like it's stressful.
3 boys.
Me traveling with children. Yeah, it's very.
Yeah.
But I think it's also very educative because when you hear my children speak or when you hear my son talk, even in school, when I go to school, the teacher will even tell me, oh, he's the one teaching us. And he will say, when I was in this, when I was in Liverpool, when I was, you'll see him talk about it.
But aren't you concerned
about
the way he's perceived with
By
other
who?
other kids,
His own
yes, his own peers?
We don't need to care about what people think about us,
Vivian.
If not, you will
You
will die.
That boils down to what I'm saying. The child, because he's given maybe maybe they see him as the ultimate. He teaches them. The other one, that's where competition
They probably
starts.
won't even give.
Will now say, oh, it's because he's going to America. He has been to Liverpool. He has. Daddy, I want to
They
go.
will now go and
This guy
harass
is
the
now the
mother.
favorite
True.
student in class. Do you understand what we're trying to avoid all of this? Because that's where the problem of this country starts from.
But like she said, she doesn't post these things online. It's not something she brags about. But it just, God has been good. And she's able to do that.
Yes,
she's able to
when
treat
God
her
is
kids
good,
to
God
that.
is good.
And
God
Nobody
has
is
blessed
saying
you,
you
God has
shouldn't
blessed
take your
you.
kids
Nobody-
on vacation, but
Yeah.
let them know that they
It
have
is
to earn it.
not. It is
It's not a birthright.
It
Exactly.
is not a by
I get it.
force.
I get
It's
it.
not- you don't have to go
That's
on
where I have a
vacation
problem
every
with
time
it.
you're on break because it's Christmas break. Oh, Daddy, where are we going to this year? Oh, it's summer break. Oh, Daddy, where are we going to?
And you
Daddy, it's my
dictate to
birthday.
the father where
are we
you're
going
going to, and he has to take you.
about
Who
this
is the
daddy?
parent then? Who is the parent?
You know, parenting has changed from back in our own days. I don't know. How did you spend your, I think you've already told us, how did you spend your...
I know
your-
my,
you
my,
don't
my,
always
my
get what you
vacations
want.
were
You have to
different.
earn it.
It depends on how I did
You
that
don't
year.
always get what you
Even for
want. You
you?
have to earn it. Yes.
You have to earn it.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
okay.
have your report card determines what you get.
What you get.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
true.
telling. I think there was one at some point. I was in this Nigeria
So you
for
think
like
kids
3
should
years. I
get
did not
a
see airports.
prize? Maybe it doesn't have to be a vacation, but do you feel that children should get a reward for doing good, for getting good grades?
Not every single time.
Getting a reward, there are some schools now that you don't see them place position, face position and all that, because so many people will also go and cram things just to pass an exam.
They don't actually study.
Yes, they don't actually study just because you're saying you must get
Read
this,
to pass.
you must get. No, we need to allow them. But we're talking with your children, they will know that, yes, I need to come out with good grades.
I don't even believe in grades, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
because
really
sometimes
don't. I like to use myself as an.
Okay.
People. Let me say. People say I'm a very smart, intellectual person, but when it comes to book wise, I have ADD. I cannot focus on reading something for so long.
Yeah.
I am more of a visual person. So when it came to exam time and reading, I never used to do good. And my parents always thought I was this dull person, so I had lesson teacher, I had this. But put it into visuals for me and walk away and I will blow your mind. I know exactly what is I hear, but to sit down and write. So I'm not the kind that judges a child on grades, because not everybody is into criming things. Not everybody is into studying. Not everybody is a math whiz. Not everybody is a science whiz. Different kids have their different potentials.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a visual person. Now I found myself in media and I'm doing great in it. And my parents are like,
wow,
hey, this girl where we send me, she go read strong book, see what she's. But I'm doing great in it. This is what I'm good at. You have kids that are better that like math, that they get A's in math, but then when it comes to science, they're getting C or D's, and you're like, oh, this boy is very dumb. No, he likes math. That's where his strength is. He likes math, so you need to build him up on that. Put him in things that excite him. Don't force,
and you get the best out of him.
And you'll get the best out of him.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, my son has to be a doctor, but your son is gearing to. He likes arguing.
He's a literature person.
From morning to night.
He's a literature person.
A lawyer.
Go to law school.
And that is why we need to bond with our
But I
children.
think that
all
is
this.
changing a bit.
Well,
when it
no,
comes
these
to,
days.
yes. thinking.
Yes,
Because
change.
people see musician, no. You want to be a makeup artist, no.
Or
But
photographer.
When they see photographer.
Yeah.
But when they see people doing well, they actually encourage and empower their kids. I think it's
And I think
changing
it's
now.
the media. The media is now bringing out things. Media is showcasing talent.
Okay.
You know, you don't need to be this for you to be excel in life. You can
And
actually
you find
be
all
anything.
these things out while you're on vacation with your kids.
With your kids.
You're passing a makeup store, your child wants to run to the makeup store. You're like, oh, wait, okay, hold on. All right.
That what you want?
Is that what you... All right, let's take a look in there. And the person doesn't necessarily need to be a makeup artist. They could be a makeup developer. You can make the products.
Exactly.
They could be able to, you know, they can like branding things. They look at this glass of water and think of, oh, if I do it like this, if I put here, it was...
For some people, it comes naturally to them like that.
Yeah. You know, some people are more artistic than others. So you have, like, you know, when you're on vacation with your kids, you have to, you know, learn, get to know them more, help them broaden their horizons, speak with them, nurture them, and make them know that, okay, you see this vacation that we're on, it's by the grace of God. God has brought us here. It is not something we might get to a point that we'll be able to do even more, or we might get to a point where we may not. But you have to understand that no matter what the situation is, you're still blessed, you're still loved, you will still grow to be a great person. Let them know. Speak to them. Make them humble in life. Not every day you want to be shining and oh, I will not wear anything besides
You're
this.
talking about vacation. Some moms will say the nightmare is about to start. So vandalizing items at home, using, you know,
and food
demand,
food consumption. How do you handle that?
You keep running up and down.
You just keep stalking and
You keep stalking because you
food
know
items.
you also
food items. Or else they'll be obese. You have to also guide them in their nutrition as well.
But they eat even while at school. Why do you have to?
But that's it's already regimented in school. So why not let them just
as
when they're on holiday?
When they're on holiday. For me, vacation is when you eat, so that when you go back to school,
burn it off again.
You burn it off, and they do.
Some kids
and they do.
Have you seen some children? Have you seen some children?
They still eat during school periods.
Yes,
but with the education system, with their brain.
They're home, they wake up at that 8 a.m. They're home 24/7 and the fridge is open.
I want cereal, I want cake, I want this.
Oh, mommy, I want cereal. I want this drink. I want this soda. I want juice. Oh, there's chocolate in the fridge. You have to regulate based on their nutritional needs.
I get that, but they keep, you know, they get hungry very.
Yes, they get hungry.
They get hungry.
But not every single time your child says, "Oh, mommy, I want cake." You now, "Oh, mommy, I think I'm hungry." No, you have to regulate it, or else you'll be moving around with the house as a child.
Everything depends on what you bring up your children. Like my children, when they go out now and you tell them, "Do you want juice?" You see them say, "No, I prefer water."
Yes.
You want is there apple there? Apple, you know, because that is what you keep at home. That is what they see at home.
Okay.
So it depends. It's not like because you have to stock.
But you would deprive them of all the sweet tooth as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you
give it to them in small bits.
Yeah, you still have
but you make sure that the healthier things.
You know, I have to force
reach.
them to take juice to school because they will not take it.
Okay.
They will prefer water.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
It's just like I saw something on Instagram one day. A lady was on the train and she was with her son. Her son was sitting on her lap. She was reading a book. And the baby was reading a book as well. And a stranger asked her, "How did you get him to do this?" And she said, "The child copies what you do."
Yeah.
So her child sees her reading all the time. He grabs his book and he reads too. So if your child sees you eating chocolate all day, your child will follow you and eat that chocolate all day.
You can't be eating and tell him not to eat.
Not to eat that. When your child sees you going for juice instead of water, your child will go. They're copiers.
Yeah.
What mommy does is what I want to do. What daddy does is what I want to do. They're watching it. So you have to lead by example. Even if you're not reading that book, pretend like you're reading the book. Put your phone there, like this.
And let them know.
But what if in the case that you have a house help at home and then she decided to quit unexpectedly and you have to go to work and your husband is not around? How do you take care of the kids?
You
How do
take them to school.
They have daycare
During
centers.
vacation.
They have
Yeah,
daycare centers.
Yeah,
Daycare.
there's some
You
that
just
run-
woke up one morning and
They have
just
pairs.
happened.
Yes.
First
They
of
have
all,
pairs
no,
who go
it
daycare
depends.
centers.
You call your office and say, this is the situation
Yeah.
I am.
I need to
Then
stay
you
back
need
at
to
home.
find solution, because you don't need to stay and start party or whatever. You need to find solution.
Yes.
You go to daycare immediately.
Yeah.
And,
What are your thoughts on children taking self-defense classes?
I'm for it. I'm for human beings.
You know,
I'm
taking
50-50.
I'm
Because they might turn to
Z,
bullies
I'm
in
against
school.
it because what if they use that force against another child? Another,
That's what I'm saying. They turn
not
to
an
bullies.
aggressor, not another child that's like a bully, but just in the wrong way, using that
When
force.
you go to self-defense classes, it's just like when you want to learn how to shoot a gun. They teach you. They tell you this is what. It's a training process. It's not overnight. It's not a one.
It's not applicable in Nigeria.
No, it is. It is like karate. They will tell you it's self-defense.
You need to protect
they'll drill
yourself.
it into your brain. It is not to harm another person that's innocent. It is not to cause bodily injury on this person.
It is to
protect yourself. So when they're
When
training you, they'll
danger
say,
comes your
when
way or
somebody
when harm
is
comes
reaching
your
for
way."
your throat, you.
Yeah.
When you're boxing, there's a way you put your hands. So if somebody comes from here, it is they tell you it's a process. It's not an overnight.
Vivian is processing. Would you put your kids through self-defense classes?
Yeah, I can. I think my husband went through that when he was little. But because my boys are already boys and they are very active, I don't think I want them to do that now. However,
What ages are your boys?
I have 9, 6, and 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. However, even if I'm going to put them, just because of the situation around, I will still lecture them on that, which I always do. A man mustn't hit a woman or must not hit anybody, even when they're going.
Your hands
like
to yourself.
when we were in, okay, I will not say the place, but they had a child. My son had a child in his class, in former school too.
Yes.
The child hit him, and he did not hit back, and he could have. So when he told me, I said, remember what I always tell you, don't ever hit, rather report to your teacher. And I came to the school and I reported.
And was the issue addressed?
Yes,
to your satisfaction?
To my satisfaction.
Sometimes
I'm not
our level of satisfaction.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on that. Because
for
me,
it's your
it's
child.
Yeah,
You're like you're on the defense.
Yeah. It depends, because for me, having my forum and all that, women and children advocates. Maybe they didn't,
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they didn't, because maybe I would have gone through. And because it's also your child, you want so many other things. Maybe you want the child to be.
To go to the moon
But
and
you
back.
also remember that even your child could do something like that, because they are children and they are boys and they are playing. But it depends on parents now for you to call back and say. Why I was even angry was that I think the mother of the child told the child, if somebody does this kind of thing to you, hate. So when I was reporting, I wasn't reporting the child, I was reporting the parent.
The parent. Because there are parents that teach their kids
Yes,
like that. If someone is
that
bullying
hits
you,
hits
if someone is,
back.
you
And I
hit
think I
back.
don't like all these video games they play these days. They're full of violence.
I don't.
Auto, boxing,
Yeah,
wrestling.
I don't buy
They're
any.
full
I
of-
mean,
that's
some of
where
these
they learn.
toys are even mini.
They're full of
They're
violence.
shaped as weapons. So I don't buy toy
Yeah.
guns, water guns. I don't give my children any of those things.
Why
If
would
they
you
get
give
them
them
as a
a gun
gift,
as a toy?
I will keep it, and they don't see it. Just because. You never know when
Yep,
the
you
real
set the
thing,
pace.
the real thing will actually be in their view or in their way, and they would pick it up. You just need to protect. So I'm on the fence
every
on
child
them.
needs to learn self-defense, and like I said, when you go to self-defense classes, they tell you in the case of an emergency, when this has happened, if somebody is reaching for your throat, your jugular, you need to.
We see
if
them in the
somebody is
movies because I haven't been to one, so I see how they train.
When there's danger approaching you, this is how. It's not to kill the person, it's to slow the person down. It's not to cause
And to protect
bodily
yourself.
harm, not to break the person's arm, but to make that person feel pain that they will stop and like, oh, it's. So I feel every person, grown-up kids, everybody needs to learn self-defense in whatever way possible. And there's a lot of talking that goes into place with kids, teenagers, especially girls. When they hit that puberty stage and their eye is choking and body is itching and blood is hot. Now you need to, baby girl, come and
Sit down, yeah.
Let's talk. You know, let's go away, me and you. Let's have a mommy and me go away trip.
Yeah. How many mothers are doing that? Mothers are so
They are shy to do so.
why?
I don't know. You
Shy?
know. Yeah. Most
talk to
parents
your
are
own-
shy to talk about sex education with their children. I think it's one thing we are talking about now, you know, trying to let parents know, you need to. Because some people will also ask you, at what age?
Advisably
It could be
Don't talk to your
upbringing.
child,
I mean, if your
somebody
mother
else
didn't really
will.
talk to you about it, and you had to learn through friends
So from
and
that, you
family.
should be an example to why you should talk to your child.
Yes,
Yeah.
and from back then you
If
can
I wasn't
you can't
taught,
compare then and
if
now.
I wasn't, if
Now
I wasn't
things are
shown the
changing.
ropes, you know,
Yes,
if there was no
a lot
auntie
of
to really
change.
talk me through it, how would I know how
But you
to?
went through it. You know what you went through by not having
the
somebody.
information.
So you use that as a tool to
And
guide
the
your
safety
child.
as then is
No, I'm just trying to
actually
justify
totally
why she
different
said,
from now.
you know, some parents are shy. I'm like, well, shy.
No, yes, some parents are shy. Like,
shy, and that
they
thing-
never know the right time. But trust me,
Yeah.
the right time is the minute she gets on her circle before she even gets to that. Before she gets to that cycle. When you see she's rebelling, when she's ready to talk back, when she's sneaking
You
around
don't even
in
have
the
to wait
house.
for all
No,
of those.
when you
look at
see
the
the
physical
signs.
signs, even.
When you
Sex
see the
education
signs,
is
when you
supposed
see
to
the
start
signs.
from age 3. As soon as your child is age 3
Sex education.
and can understand, you start telling your child,
It's true.
nobody should touch your private
Yes.
part. Your private part
But that one
private.
is different. That's not the sex education.
It's from there. It's little by
It's
little
still
you grow.
part,
You
yeah.
don't just come up and say sex now. It's little by little.
No, of course, that one,
Nobody
boys
shouldn't.
and girls.
Yeah.
Nobody
should touch your private part. Nobody should tell you not to tell mommy this. You shouldn't keep any secret with
Even if
mommy.
they say you're going
and
to
you know,
die, no problem. They're
tell
not going
your
to
mommy
kill
and
your
daddy,
mommy. They
you
just,
know.
they're putting fear in you.
Just
that
tell
uncle
me.
or that auntie is just playing. It's not serious. Come and tell mommy.
Tell me.
Yeah.
So,
you need to say it in a playful way, in a friendly way, so they will always come
or
back
even
to tell you.
like, there's a museum. There's a sex museum in the U.S. Take your kids. They see different state. Yes, there's a sex museum. No, it's a museum. It's a
What are you trying to
Yeah,
show them?
the different
Body
stages of not
develop.
no, I'm not talking about that.
Because you can actually learn from your own body, from their body.
No,
You tell them.
no, it's a museum of sex.
Okay.
Where, there's statues, there's the inside of you,
Okay.
how babies are made, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
It's the whole 9 yards. So there's the beginner stage of where kids need to know this is what happens.
Okay,
This
okay.
is where kids go there. They have a playground, they have a classroom for the kids with teachers that will tell you this is what it is. They teach you sex education. They teach you, oh, if this person does this to you, or if somebody is rubbing you, it's a sign of they want to. So if you're able to even go online and, Google different tips and tricks on how to speak to your kids. When you go on vacation, don't just go to the fun places. Go on educational tours.
I'm glad you said that.
Go
'cause
on educational tours. It's not all about going to the mall and going to the amusement park and going to the pool. Take them
Disneyland.
to museums. Take them to classes. Take them take them places where they will learn things. Where when people are speaking, they're like, oh yes, I remember that. It will help them in life. I don't understand how going shopping will help your child. It doesn't. How going to an amusement park will help your child be a better person.
Well, going to shopping could help them in marketing.
Marketing
Do you think summer camps are like an easy way out for the Nigerian parents? Just,
Well, I'm impressed with the summer cooking classes. Summer
yes, I've
baking
seen some
class.
of those.
Yes,
Yes.
Summer music classes.
Yes, summer
Yeah.
music classes actually engages the children,
There are some
especially.
summer classes that are very good.
And-
Yeah,
Extremely
I
good.
agree.
These
Like I
days,
said,
you
you
even
pick
see
summer
the
swimming
boys.
classes.
You pick the
You
interest
even
of
see
your
the
child
boys,
and
not
enroll.
only the girls going for baking classes.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
children
and
can
cooking
cook.
classes.
Yes,
My
they go
son
for
cooks. He
for
likes to
cooking
cook.
classes.
Mommy, teach me. I need to cook.
Swimming classes.
You
Yeah.
engage them. Swimming.
I feel like now a lot of people don't know how to swim. I've come to understand that.
And it's very difficult when you're older.
And when you're older. When I saw that Debanja's child died in the pool, it clicked in my brain that, probably by 3 months when you have a child, swimming classes start with babies.
Yeah.
They have baby swimming classes.
Yeah, but 3 months?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
They start very early, but I don't think I'll have the heart to do
I don't know.
And it is you that's holding your child in the water. It's nobody else.
Okay.
It is you. That's
if you know the mommy knows how to swim.
Exactly.
No, you don't go to the deep end. It's a shallow, like you start at the children's pool.
Yeah.
You know, you get the child acquainted with water.
Let him get familiar
Let
with
them
the
get,
water.
you swing them in
Is
the
mommy
water.
even familiar with water? Let's even. Do you swim?
Then
I learned
not
like
really.
2 years ago, and I did
not really. I don't swim, but I would like to have my kids learn, but I'm not quite there yet, especially with some of the accidents that I've heard in recent times. And I'm like,
but it's good.
Because sometimes you hear all these stories of the lifeguards not went to go and buy biscuits or something.
Yeah, most of the swimming pools have lifeguards.
Swimming instructors. Well, he went to buy a recharge card.
They just passive. Most of them are passive.
You know what I mean. So you're just wondering if I sign them up for swimming classes. Okay, swimming classes is even a bit different, but let them go to the pool. Sometimes the people that are supposed to be watching over them are not paying. They're not paying attention at all.
A few people that have lost their kids.
And children will always be children. When you think it's here, you won't even know.
And they're fast.
Yeah. They're very fast.
Very fast. So
and they think they are playing. Mommy, I'm here. They are running, thinking they are playing with you.
Yeah.
Especially when you're used to going to the pool with the kid and you're holding them. Now they want to go and play in that same pool, not knowing that they haven't really learned how to. That's why it's better if you start introducing them to the pool, introduce them to swimming. You introduce them to the river, introduce them to swimming. It's true that not everybody sees pool. There are people that go to the river. In the south, I think there's like there's a mud something that they create that with water piles up in it, and the kids go and play inside.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like I don't know what they call it, but when they dig up the mud to build houses or do whatever or to lay the roads, water goes in there, and then it now turns into like this mini, and kids go and play in there, and they end up dying. I know somebody's child that he went to go and bury his family member. His son went out to go and play with his cousins and everything, and they went to that mud pod, and his child died there.
Wow. Safety first. Even if you're going to train your children, you need to know where exactly. Not all the swimming pools, not all the hotels.
Sometimes all these
he might not be aware that the child has gone to that particular location.
Yeah. Safety first. You need to be sure that the teachers there
are qualified.
Yeah. Yes. To handle children. Because it's not just qualifying to cook or whatever. To handle children.
And for guys, most of them they were not taught. They just learned on their own.
Yeah.
So being an instructor, maybe it's a guy, he's just there, he doesn't know the basics.
Yeah. What about the habit of some parents sending their children off to grandparents? I know back then it was a good idea, but sometimes even the grandparents can't.
They're old. Why are you sending your kids?
I was going to say that.
Your parents are in their retirement age. They're enjoying life. They're trying to calm down and relax. And see, that's not the place for them to go to.
But I think sometimes the grandparents ask for them.
They'll go in Christmas.
No, they can go there over
especially when a grandparent. You can't deny a grandparent asking for a
maybe for a week. But they don't need to stay.
But don't make it like a liability on them to
unless
go. Once the kids are on holiday, you just take
and his grandparent is, has the strength and the energy and is not I said 2.5 months
of responsibility.
You had 2.5 months. Your child cannot just be dull.
But sometimes they enjoy it. They enjoy it.
Yeah.
They ask for their children.
They ask for their grandkids sometimes.
A week or two is fine, but once it takes up to a month, that's transfer of responsibility. They should be resting.
Send them for the weekend.
What are your thoughts on sleepovers during the holiday period too?
I like sleepovers. I like sleepovers. I get to know
sleepovers in 2018, not back in.
No, sleepovers in 2020, sir.
Really?
I'm not comfortable with
Z.
Because you don't know how the other family.
That's how you get to know that other family.
How are you going to sleep with them?
When they bring the kids, when
no way.
You notice when they bring the kids back.
You will notice what kind of child your kids are playing with. You will know what kind of upbringing they're getting, whether your child should be friends with this person or this is the time to cut it off. But when you keep them at arm's length, see, come to visit is different than come to stay.
I said sleepover, Z.
And that's what I'm saying.
You let them sleep over
Sleep over, yes. Because what the traits you will show me and that sleepover is different than the trait you show me when you come
And you know, children talk. What they see is what they will say.
Whatever you were trying to avoid might have already been too late by the child. The child comes to you in the morning.
Yeah. See,
no, I can't take that risk.
Over. It's not. It is. They're not sleeping alone.
You never had sleepover when you were a kid?
No, I did. But that's
why would you deny your child of that?
Not sleeping alone.
That's why I said not sleepover of 1984. This is sleepover of 2018.
You need to know the family well enough to allow your child. That's what I'm saying.
One. And two, how do you want to know who your kids are interacting with when you have them at baseline? Come on. Let's be like I told you, come to visit is different than come to stay. The traits they will show you in that 1 or 2 hours they come to play with your child is different than what they show you when they come to sleep over. Yeah, because they will lose themselves and the real them
sleeping
will come
over here
out.
now, is it sleeping in your own house or going to sleep in
for them to go and sleep? Because you don't know who else is in the house, who else is staying with them.
Before you send your child, won't you ask?
Who else?
Of course, there has to be a certain relationship between the two families for you to be comfortable.
So you ask for a roll call of everyone in the house?
Before uncle.
Roll call? No, you have to interact over time.
Oh, you want Miriam to come over? Who else? Who all are coming?
Okay.
Oh, this person is coming there. Okay, no problem. You have gotten the names.
Of the other kids.
Of the other kids. So don't you know the parents of your friends?
If you taking care of them.
That's what I'm saying. You don't just allow your children to just go there. You have to have an interaction with a particular period of time. And when you're comfortable with the other family, you can allow your kids to go and sleep over.
You dot your eyes and cross your T's.
Well, for me, it's only maybe if I'm traveling or something.
Okay.
Only on emergency that I can allow that. Because I can't start questioning, start investigating the other people just because to sleep over.
You bring it up, there's a way you ask in a discussion that will not raise antennas like, oh, you don't trust me with your child. Like, okay, oh, Mariam says she wants to come for a sleepover.
But would you allow others to come for sleepover at your place? Would you allow?
Yeah, of course I would let them come.
Because I will be there too. Because I will be there to monitor them.
So,
then you would allow other people to come and other kids to come and
go in
and
check and
they can come into your house and check either.
No,
we
they
all
can't.
have our insecurities.
Yeah, I know. We all have our insecurities. And sleepovers for me, it's sensitive. No.
I like sleepovers because right there and then, I will determine if this is somebody my child will be friends with.
But sometimes you might not be able to tell Z.
No,
a night or 2 nights, you might not be able, and depending on the age of the kid.
Unruly child or a non-unruly child.
Depending on the
Kids
age
are
of
not
the
like
child.
adults that know how to hide things that well. Their body will be itching them when you're bad.
You know what happens? You know what happens?
When they're whispering one too many times, or they're you can tell that they're plotting something.
And they're like, or you're watching them, they want to do something and they're watching you, they're moving quickly.
And sometimes innocently they even say it.
Yeah.
No, children are
we did this
innocent.
when we were in auntie's room. She did this to us. We did this. They speak up.
Like when my children, when they come back from school, they always say everything their teacher says.
Okay.
Because you listen.
Unknowingly,
Because you
even unknowingly, my auntie said, "Oh, come back here! Don't touch that bag. Don't stop drinking water when others are eating." You know, they will tell you.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. See if she wants to ask something. No, I know my mother very well.
In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
How do you occupy your child during holiday or your children during holiday? Holiday, I think, is a time for parents to bond well with their children. Even though we are working, it's also a time for us to know our children better. So it's good that you can enroll your children on summer lessons, but let it also be a time for them to know which class are they actually learning from. If they're good in maybe music, swimming, cooking, you engage them in that particular class, not just for a random lesson. Let them learn something particular in that vacation.
Yeah.
Also be close to your children to ask questions, because this is also the time child abuse predators, they are rampant, you know, because the children are at home or in school, because they're in school now. Even the summer lesson is not like strict as normal school.
Yeah.
So the teachers can also take advantage of them, or the driver, or the store attendant.
Yeah.
So you need to be close to your child. You need to listen to your child. And children don't lie. When they want to tell you something, be patient enough to listen.
And they will get there.
So, yeah.
You will hear the truth.
They will go through and through. Mommy, do you know what happened? Oh, I played football today, and when I fell down, listen. Remove your phone. Keep off your phone. We're always on phone, trying to look at this or that. Keep off your phone. Listen to your child. Know what they need. This is time for them. This is time for us, too, to know them better and know where they are going. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Vivian. We've come to the end of conversations today. Children and how to keep them occupied during the holiday period. We'd like to hear what your own tip or trick is. You can contact us using our social media handles available on the screen. So on behalf of Rakiba, Vivian, and Z, thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye.